Given the data set, find the 5-number summary and identify any outliers using the 1.5 IQR rule. So first, we're going to find our 5-number summary, which is going to start with our minimum, our lower quartile, our median, our upper quartile, and our maximum. Minimum and maximum are the easiest when it's written in order from least to greatest. 573,300, 601,000. That's my min and my max. My median, well, I have an even amount of data, so I'm going to have 2 numbers as my middle. So I'm going to go ahead and cross off until I meet in the middle. Again, if it's at all hard for you to do this while it's written the way it is, you are more than welcome to go ahead and rewrite it out on the side of each other, so that way it's written straight across and not as confusing when it's the boxes. So then we just check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I can cross this one off. So my middle 2 are here. I have to find the average, so I'm going to add them together. And that's going to give me a value of 1,169,600. Remember, you got to divide that by 2 because there were 2 numbers involved, which gives us a median of 584,800. So that is our median. Now, when I do my lower and my upper quartile, I have to make sure I include those numbers because they were not the median. So they need to be part of my lower and upper data sets. Again, it's even, so I should end up with 2 numbers in the middle. This time it's 581,000, 582, 200,000. So we go ahead and add those together and see what we get as their sum so that we can find our average. And that gives us 1,163,200. We're going to divide that by 2 because that's how many numbers there were. And that gives me my lower quartile of 581,600. Now we're going to do the same thing, but for our upper quartile. So now I'm going to cross off until I make it to the middle for my upper, which is going to be 587,100 and 589,700. So I'm going to add them together to find the sum so I can take the average. And that's going to give me 1,176,800. But of course, I got to divide it by 2 because that's how many numbers there were. And my upper quartile is 588,400. Now, I need to see if there are any outliers. So I'm going to go ahead and subtract my upper quartile minus my lower quartile. So in this case, that means I'm going to take 588,400 and I'm going to subtract 581,600. Those are tricky to say sometimes. So go ahead and find the difference between your quartiles. Remember, on a box plot, that would be the length of the box, which in this case we get 6,800. But remember, I also have to multiply it by 1.5, which gives me my 1.5 IQR of 10,200. Now I'm going to use that to find whether or not I have an outlier. I need to take that number and I need to add it to my upper to tell me how big numbers can get. And I need to subtract it from my lower to tell me how small numbers can get. So I know that the bounds that I can have for my lower, 581,600 minus 10,200, my smallest number I can have is 571,400. And that can go to my biggest number, which is 588,400 plus 10,200. My biggest number I can have is 598,600. That is my range. So now let's compare that to our minimum and our maximum. Well, my minimum is 171 or 571, 400. So both of my minimum values, they all kind of work out. So that's not where I'm going to find an outlier. Now I'm going to check the upper end. Well, I have 598. Here I have 601. So that's an outlier. When I check this guy, not an outlier. So I know that my outlier is 600 and 1,000. And again, that was because it is outside of the bounds that I found using my 1.5 IQ article.